flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order for June 16th, 2026 at 7:01. Reviewing the housekeeping items. Board, when speaking, please move close to your microphone to ensure you are heard clearly. For the YouTube streaming, and I request citizens who speak to adjust the height and stand close to their microphone. There will be two opportunities for citizen comments. I will be requesting individuals stay within the 4 minutes in both citizen comment sections. Would appreciate everyone keeping their points concise. I would request that comments are made respectfully to the board. We are here to discuss the township's business. Citizen comments should pertain to specific issues, concerns, or policies they would like to bring to the board's attention. As we have done in the past, I request that the first citizen comment section is to be used for comments related to items on the agenda. I will make notes with regards to your comments, and the board can try and address those items during our board discussion. The second comment section can be used for any other areas of the township, but is not to be used to further comment on agenda items. To respect everyone's time, I strongly urge the board not to respond to public comments, but address them in the board comment section. Sometimes this is difficult, but this is not a debating stage between citizens and board members. We have township business to conduct, and it is required that we do so effectively. If there needs to be a follow-up from the board, I will direct the appropriate person to reach out to that individual. The documents on the website are aligned to the items on the agenda. These are draft documents to provide background information only. Just to be clear, motions are drafted to help the board more quickly get to the final wording and vote on the respective motions. The final motion may look different to reflect the actual action taken by the board. We have one set of minutes for May 19th, 2026. Anyone have any changes?
I have none.
All right, I have none.
None.
All right. I will make the motion to approve the May 19th, 2026 regular board meeting minutes as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's moved and seconded to approve the regular board meeting minutes of May 19th, 2026 as presented. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item is correspondence and announcements. Mary?
I have none.
All right, thank you. Next item is approval of the agenda. Any changes to the agenda? I have none. Very good. I make the motion that the agenda be accepted as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. It is moved and seconded that the agenda is accepted as presented. Any further discussion regarding the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We now move to the citizen comments. Again, this should be the section you address things that are on the agenda. Mary, do we have it?
No.
All right. We will now move to the consent agenda. Anyone wish to pull any of the reports?
I do not.
All right.
Not pulling the report, it's just a question. What was the difference between the item that was on the table here versus the item that was in the packet? This would have been the listing, the ledger.
Oh, that was updated.
Just updated.
Yeah.
I did checks yesterday that I meant to date for tomorrow, but I
Okay.
didn't, so then I ran a new report.
Okay.
All right, so hearing none, then all the reports will be accepted by consent. Next item is special reports. Andy, for the planning commission, anything?
So Planning Commission, there was no meeting yesterday. The prior meeting, I know, Bob, you had mentioned that the prior Planning Commission meeting of May, there was the approval of the old Riccardi's restaurant for the special use permit for land use permit, excuse me, for that particular facility.
Yep.
That was, I think we landed at a good spot there. Also should let everyone know that for the ongoing work of the master plan, that the plan is to have a open house for the master plan on September 21st, which is a Monday, which is the regular PC meeting.
The 21st.
Yes, of September.
All right, thank you. Anything else? All right. Mary, any FOIA or announcements?
I did have 2 FOIA requests over the last month. One I was able to fill and one I had no information for. They were just small.
Okay. My financial report, nothing surprising for the first 2 months of operations. The performance of the township against budget showed a positive cash flow of $195,000 as revenues came in by higher by $39,000 and expenses were lower by $156,000. We also had our accounting auditors in for their annual review. There were no major issues found, and our auditors were very complimentary of the treasurer and the clerk's work for this past year. So thank you to you both. As always, if you'd like a further discussion on our financial performance, please feel free to give me a call and we can set up an appointment to go over that. All right, we moving on to board action. We have no old business. We have 4 items for new business. First item is the contract for parking lot sealing and striping. And Sharon, you've worked on this item. Your thoughts on the bids?
Well, thank you to Kevin for helping get these organized here. We've got 3 bids. A 4th one didn't quite make it in, but we've got quotes for 3 different bids, and the parking lot has never been touched or resealed in the 18 years since we've been here, so it's long overdue. So it's a project we've been wanting to get done anyway. So there's 3 different, you've all had the bids there to look at. They originally didn't start out with striping on one of them, then they called back later and when I was asked. There was one, the first one that came in, Black Magic Striping and Sealing. I did call for reference on that one. But that reference, this will be the first time that they'll be using them also. And they had used many other ones in the past and didn't like any of them in the past. So they're hoping that this Black Magic will work real well. They liked their presentation when they came to them. So there's that one. And then there's the quote from Grand Traverse Seal Coating and Striping. And the other one from Bel Air with Eris. So it's open for discussion.
Where's Kevin? Kevin's not in here?
Kevin?
Kevin?
I thought I saw him. So has he worked with all 3 of these, Sharon?
He hasn't worked with all 3, but he has worked with some of them. The one that did the parking lot at the South Station, number 2, they couldn't get a bid in fast enough. So I asked if they were able to get a bid in, and they couldn't get a bid in fast enough. That was the only one that I was familiar with. So I don't know. I don't know where you want to start with looking at them. The only thing I got was on the the Black Magic striping, I guess I'll just read it, a comment that they'd made. This is the one that I called to ask about a reference. It says, "Thank you for your request. We will be seal coating the Eastport Market on June 22nd and June 23rd, half and half, and would like to do half and half on this job on those days as well. So like half there, half here, half there, 2 different days. Please check and request if there's any questions. If you have any questions, concerns regarding the quote, don't hesitate to get in touch," and so forth. So I did get in touch with Eastport Market to see, and this is the first time they'll be using them, like I mentioned. So they're hoping that they'll be very well for them, because anything prior to that was not. And they have theirs done every 2 years with the prior ones that they had done. Now, we've never had anything done here in 18 years, so the 2 of them, the higher bids, the 2 higher ones are quite detailed. The one here, the lesser amount is not very detailed at all. And I had to call and ask about striping, and they don't normally do it, but they would add it on. That was my handwritten note on there.
Did you say they don't normally do it?
They don't normally do it, but they would do it. So they said, well, it'll be an extra cost, and of course. So per my phone call, you can see my name. That's
I
why I
wonder if
put it on
normally
there.
means never, but we'll do it this first time. Yeah, normally.
agree.
We're going to
A
practice.
little concerning, and the lack of detail in that, and the fact that it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
question the quality. If we only do this every 10 years or whatever.
I because of the fact that it's never been done, and there are some major cracks along the way, and the lack of detail on here, where the other ones really list what they're going to be doing in great length. And I had the first, right away when the quotes all came in, there were almost 4 quotes, but there's 3 here. But I had Kevin, because Kevin worked for the village of Elk Rapids, and he was the maintenance department head there for all those years. So he's very familiar with all this. He liked the 2 quotes. It was just a matter of, and he looked it over very, very carefully. He wasn't too concerned with this one here because it wasn't much detail, but he looked them over at quite length. And he knew exactly what they were talking about on all of it, which I did not, but.
Other thoughts?
I just find it odd that we have 2 that are pretty close and then one that's just way
below.
off.
Yeah, I did see, not that it has anything bearing on this proposal at all, has no bearing on it, but I do see his signs and advertisements,
Yeah,
posted on almost every utility pole and road ends along the way, so.
I mean, I personally have not used them for my driveway. I have clients that have used the Beller company. That some good, some bad, so.
Yeah,
Well, I don't have any experience except with GT. They do our driveway and our neighbors. And I have no complaints with what they did. I don't know anything about Black Magic, so I can only speak to GT.
the 2 of them were very accommodating on the phone when I asked questions and called and asked for more detail of anything. If they had any detail, they were very, very, very accommodating to any questions that I might have had. So I was happy to be able to communicate with them.
So to be clear, Black Magic is going to do Eastport Market,
Right.
June 22nd.
and then they want to do it
Well,
in combination. If we were to go with them, they want to do it in combination.
right. The thing of it is, I did talk with Kevin at length, that because it's going to take some engineering as far as, because the fire trucks are big, and you got fire trucks and the ambulance. So they're going to have to strategize putting them if they're doing half and half. I don't know what their plan would be to doing it here. He didn't really know how to address that, meaning half and half. You can't do all of it there because you got trucks going in and out. Or here wouldn't be so bad. You could start with the back or half of the parking lot or whatever. But it's a strategy of doing the fire department with moving vehicles, ambulances, fire trucks in and out of how they would handle that. I guess that would be up to the fire chief and whoever we hire to do it, so I'm not looking at it in the realms of, because they're doing the Eastport Market. I only called the Eastport Market to see it for reference. And so that's where I call that for that, but.
Well, the good thing about that is if they screw both of us up, they're screwing up.
Sean wasn't happy with any of the farmer ones that he had at all.
I don't necessarily think that the half and half is any more complicated than doing it all at once. You still have the same engineering issues of trying to get the trucks coordinated around that. Because,
Well, they wouldn't do that, all of Eastport Market all at one time. It's in 2 days.
Right,
Half their parking
right.
lot one day and half the parking lot the other day
Right.
or whatever.
that's what I mean, whether they did it spread. In other words, I don't really see why it would be any difference if they split their time with Torch Lake, or with the Eastport
Right.
Market in here versus if they were just focusing on us.
Right.
It's still the same issues.
That's correct. I didn't mean anything different than that. Right. So everybody has the quotes and they were able to look at them in advance. There's not much difference between the two, for sure.
It's about $1,200.
Yeah.
Sharon, you'd said that Eastport Market did use Black Magic last time?
No.
No, they've never used it.
No.
Okay.
No, it was just the fact that it was going to be convenient for them to be in the same neighborhood.
Right.
It's because they said they were going to be doing theirs. That's when I reached out to them and say, can you give me a reference on them? So, and then when they said, no, they hadn't used them before. So
Do we know when these GT could do it? If we know that we could start with Black Magic on the 22nd, do we know how far they are out for?
no, I didn't,
Okay.
I don't know when they can start, but their program just says quote and, oh, yeah, I did get a note back from them. I said, we'll have our board meeting tonight and we will let you know back. He says, let me know back as soon as whatever you're able to, if one way or the other. So yeah, I did reach out to him and thanked him for sending the quote. And that we have a board meeting tonight and we will decide between our other bids that we have going on. And he said, thank you for responding. So he didn't indicate that it would be any such time at all, but I wish Kevin was here. Maybe he had more, but I don't know where he went.
I guess I'm fine either way. We know that Bob's had experience with,
Mike, did Kevin have a run back there?
I thought it was behind me.
He left.
Let me just see.
I didn't know if you know, I don't know if you knew if he had a quick take off on a run or something.
Yeah, sirens.
Oh, okay. That's okay, Mike.
So the only thing I see is a little more detail in the GT.
Yeah, he gives more detail and the mixtures and
The only thing I don't see with GT, there goes Kevin. Does anybody see in the GT estimate how many linear feet? I see Black Magic's got 922. I just don't see GT's any linear feet with GT.
well, they had the scope of the project as to,
They came up. right?
yeah, they did.
And did the measurement.
So
I mean, I don't know. I got it right here. Black Magic. I mean,
GT's got 45,000 feet in their quarter.
Yeah, that's what I just.
well, I
noticed
see that, but if you look in the other quantity on the further page, they got 1252 there. So is that 1252 plus 45, 144 on page 1?
Well, it looks like the quantity is square feet.
Square feet?
42,700, and the other one is 45,144. So the difference is about, what, 2,400 feet?
And one of
2,400
them,
feet?
one of
Square
them,
feet.
one of them has a couple extra white lines in there versus the other one, so one's got 49 parking spots and one's got 52.
The difference in square footage estimate makes up about half the difference in the cost. Because they're saying it's a slightly larger surface area.
GT is?
Yeah,
Also, Black Magic says they fill major cracks only, 1/4 to 1 inch wide. The other one says 1/4 inch to 1 inch.
Yeah, when I walked around, I couldn't tell what was 1/4 inch or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I
whatever.
don't know anything about.
I don't
either,
either.
but
I just
Says
walked
same
around and
yeah,
looked
that's
at.
true.
Feels
GT
quarter.
says 1/8 inch.
I guess I'd go with GT because,
GT gave a
because
lot of,
Bob has
pic-
experience with them.
pictures. They gave a lot of pictures. This GT gave a lot of aerial pictures of their jobs and some reviews on it.
Somebody, I think it was Jason, just said somebody said a difference in cracks.
Mary.
That alone
Yeah.
is, because you could argue down to an 1/8 inch with GT. If they went through and didn't fill those cracks, you know, they're saying they're gonna do it down to half the width of Black Magic. So they could go up to, you know, 1/4 of an inch crack and not do anything and just rely on the sealant.
Right.
That alone seems like a pretty big difference.
And they do the rubber seal, that's, because my driveway had quite a bit of that, so.
And Bob's used them and had good luck, so.
And those seals held up. Now, it's not beautiful, but just want to be functional.
Okay.
All right, board. Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion
All right.
that we will make the motion to use Grand Traverse seal coating and striping for the resealing and striping of our parking lot.
Per quote number 1906, or whatever, or amount, or.
I'll second that motion.
All right, motion has been made and seconded to approve the contract with GT Seal and seal coating and striping, sealing and striping CSP and fire department parking lots and driveways.
We'll see the difference what their job is and what our job will look like.
That's true. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, then Mary, a roll call vote, please.
Sharon,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Jason.
Yes.
Mary, yes.
Well, then I'll reach out to them and see when they can start and make arrangements with the fire chief to move vehicles, I guess.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, board.
Second item.
It's the first time in 18 years.
We have two quotes. And it was my mistake, because really there should only have been the one for the replacement of an existing hose. And it's with the same folks that have provided our hoses in the past. So I will make the motion to approve the purchase of the Tight Hose Supreme for $5,482. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion?
Just a question. What constitutes when the hose needs to be replaced?
Age And we, in fact, we just had
Today, yesterday,
testing today.
yesterday was all day.
And they continue today. then
Oh,
they were up
yeah.
today.
They finished up today, yeah, but they were out there all day yesterday, pulling every single hose out.
failed?
Just was a failure. Or it was close enough that the fire chief felt it was time to replace it.
I guess Kevin's the one that did the research on this?
Yes. And they're the same company that we always buy it from.
Are there other companies?
I'm sure there are. But
It's quite a process to watch them pull out all those. They have a huge crew out there that works on those.
Stuff is
Testing.
expensive.
all right, any further discussion? Hearing none, then Mary, roll call vote.
Andy,
Yes.
Mary, yes. Jason,
Yes.
Sharon,
Yes,
Bob,
Yes. All right, next item. We had a committee, the Nature Preserve Committee, we had a meeting on June 9th. The minutes were included in the package under items for informational purpose only. In the past, the supervisor has recommended to the board people who have expressed an interest to serve on the committee. I will be recommending 2 new members to replace 3 members, Jeff Harding, John Jenkins, and Mark Jacobiak. Mark has served for many years and has been a strong supporter of the principles of safeguarding our nature preserve, and Mark will be missed. Mark's a good friend, and he will be missed on that committee. With these nominations, any remaining terms for current members will be restarted effective with this motion. Current members, Audra Randall, Dee Jacobiak, Aaron Dodd, Patrick McLemara, and with new appointees, Paul Rich and Ralph Nunez. Anyone have any questions on that?
and they've all accepted.
They both, yes. The meeting was very.
Any of them?
You can read the minutes.
Are any of them here?
No.
Huh.
Yes,
Oh.
yeah,
And you are?
Paul Rich.
Okay, nice to meet you, Paul.
Sorry, Paul. Paul was very vocal at our board meeting, so he's going to be a good addition. And we covered the key things with the garbage cans. We're going to monitor that. We're going to have a level of security around them, so.
Yeah, we got issues already with those garbage cans.
Well, we either had the garbage cans as an issue or we have the garbage in the.
The issue is there's poison ivy everywhere.
Around them?
The garbage is falling out and our cleaning lady says like she's trying to not pick through poison ivy to get the garbage because the animals are getting into it.
Well, we talked about,
we did.
We did.
all right.
no,
You
don't
can't
want
win.
poison ivy.
I mean, I think it's a good idea we have. I'm just saying we gotta
You gotta figure out. how to-
figure out how to keep it clean.
We don't want poison ivy. Oof.
Well, the problem is the animals that are going after it are going to climb any fencing we put around it.
Oh, they're everywhere. They're in the dumpster at the day park. She goes to open the lid and the raccoons are in there. So then she has to put a piece of wood in there at night so they can get out.
I will say though, she
It
did,
it happens out here too.
she did say that there's quite a bit of trash being collected at the nature preserve. So I think the garbage cans were
A hit,
a good, yeah.
a
Well,
success.
they're working 90% of the way there.
Yeah, then the animals
Yeah, we
come
just
at
have to tweak it.
3,
But
4
it's
o'clock in the morning.
Still good, still good.
There's
Rocky
EMTs,
raccoon.
there's EMTs that go out to the one out here, right, Mike, and scare them half to death when those raccoons come flying out of there.
Kick them out. All right. If there's no other questions, I will make the motion to appoint Audra Randall, Dee Jacobiak, Aaron Dodd, Paul Rich, Ralph Nunez, and Patrick McLemara for a 2-year term effective June 17th, 2026. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jason. The motion has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, on Mary, a roll call vote, please.
Bob,
Yes.
Sharon,
Yes,
Andy,
Yes.
Mary, yes. Jason?
Yes.
All right. Last item. Too bad Kevin's not here. But we've got a new person interested in joining the firefighting team, coming in as probationary firefighter. The only thing I know is he lives in the township, so he's going to be a local for us, which is a positive. Anybody have any questions?
I think he can stand up, and would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. There it is. Eric Douglas. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a little pressure.
Thanks for having me. Eric Douglas, my wife and I relocated up here from Grand Rapids area in 24. Mike Felding was pushing me quite a bit after we moved in to join. Had knee surgery, so I kind of put it off. That's all good now, and this time is good. Just want to try to help out the community and give back what we can. So.
Well, great.
Thank you.
For volunteering for us.
My pleasure.
I was wondering if Mike was going to push you along when I saw your address. Mike was on for many, many, many years.
Yeah, now that he's gone, I decided to come out. So,
Good for you.
Great, Eric. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All right.
Motion to approve in the hiring of Eric Douglas as firefighter probationary for Torch Township Fire Department, effective June 17th, 26 at the rate of $16.70 and their normal wage scale.
I will second that. Motion has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Mary, roll call vote, please.
Jason?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes,
Andy?
Yes.
Mary? Yes.
All right, moving on.
welcome aboard.
Welcome. Moving on to
I'll
the
get with
next
you
item.
with personnel stuff.
Short-term rentals. Unfortunately, Sarah had a conflict tonight. So I'm assuming many of you may have come for that discussion. At this particular juncture, hopefully people know there's a big lawsuit down in Milton Township related to short-term rentals and what a township is doing. At this particular point, I think Sharon had a position paper that everybody had a copy in the package. Basically, we're looking at proceeding on a licensing. I'm working with Todd to figure out what we can put in there as far as rules and regulations. We will end up having to adjust our existing short-term ordinance. And at this point, it's kind of up in the air until next month when Sarah comes to the meeting and makes a presentation. That's really about all I can say on it at this point.
So was she going to make a presentation tonight too?
Well, she was going to bring up the subject, here's the licensing, because the village of Elk Rapids actually has a licensing, and I was going to go down and listen to their past meeting. She told me that she would bring all that information tonight, and she wasn't able to do it, so it'll be at our next board meeting. All right, moving on. Items for informational purposes only. I spoke to a representative from an engineering firm out of Charlevoix. Charlevoix, and he works on these items. He was here on a different item with the fire chief. He indicated that the ramp that Milton put in that everybody has talked about has begun to break down, and they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on that. He said that for Creswell, just to kind of smooth it out, fix it up, would cost starting somewhere between 30 and 50,000. He said you can go anywhere and get it, but he said the real problem is it's on the bay, the water fluctuates, the ice fluctuates, and he said, you know, it won't take very long for that thing to be destroyed. So at this particular juncture, board, I see no reason to spend that money. I've spoken to Kevin, and he says he's okay with that decision, and we are looking at an apparatus that we might be able to put down there if we can get power down there that will help speed up the refilling of the tankers as opposed to them having to run an emergency hose out and have it sucked out that way. So we're working on something different, and that's part of my number 2. We have a lot of storage areas around here with water. The issue really is coming down to the fact that we've got these huge homes being built. And the question is, do we have enough water capacity to fight that fire? And my understanding is it takes 2 trucks to fill 1 truck from these storage bins. So the question is, again, there's a device that can expedite, it's called a hydrant pump, that can expedite the pumping out of the lake into our tankers a lot faster. And we only have to have one truck at a time as opposed to having 2 trucks to transfer the water, according to the chief. So at this point, he and I are going to sit down and go through a map on the township, see where all the stuff is. We're going to try to get a quote on this particular pump, and we would look at putting them at Creswell as one site, down on Northwest Torch Lake Drive at the 407 ramp. We're debating whether or not we want to put one at the end of Barnes Row, and then we'll try to figure out another location on the other side of the lake.
You're saying there'd be a separate pump at each one of these?
Yeah, it's supposed to be quite a large capacity pump, and it comes with the same, speaking of the devil,
Here we go.
it comes out at the capacity if you were a hydrant unit. So at this point, we're going to sit down and find out where all these storage bins are and map it out and figure out with the new housing and existing housing where the most logical sites might be for these pumps. So I'll come back with that story next month. Next one is Nature Preserve report. Again, the committee, I put the copy of the minutes in there. If people have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. The final item is the explanation around the language that is going to be used for the road millage. The rules changed as to the wording. We were going to issue our initial proposal for the road millage, and our attorney said, I changed the rules. And it's not only a renewal, but it's an increase. So I've got a 4-page explanation that explains what the Headley Amendment does, what the impact's going to be. So again, the short story is we're going for 1 mil, but again, when the first mill comes out, it will have a Headley Amendment adjustment. And so each year it will go down again. So again, I strongly ask that you read through this. If you have any questions, give myself or Sharon a call. We can go through it. It's not a millage on top of a millage. The other millage will expire. And again, I explained that we've got quite a bit of work. We've got Northwest Coast Lake Drive, we've got Farrow Road, and in a couple of years, we're going to start dealing with the rework of the things that we started back in 2018. And those were Band-Aid fixes. So it's important that this get passed, and I'm hoping everybody will support that. That concludes my comments there. Mary, do we have citizen comment?
Do you want to vote on it? Do you have one more?
There was, yeah, that's what I just did.
Maureen Lorenz.
Good evening. Maureen Lorenz, 2715 Bay Harbor Club Drive. I'm interested in, last July, the board approved flock cameras. And since then, there's been a lot of negative press about flock cameras. And certainly when Sheriff Hoke introduced it, it was to fight crime. And we want to make sure he does get every resource available to him to help him do that. But I guess I'd like to know what the efficacy of the flock cameras have been, if they were installed, and also if they continue to be license plate only and 30-day retention of data. Because what's coming out in the press is something facial recognition, and they're selling data, and I just don't want really to be part of that. Not what they've presented when they sold them to us.
What's funny you bring that up?
Is it funny?
Yes, because the sheriff stopped by the other day. And he told me all that stuff is not to be believed, that they are doing the 30 days, they are doing the license plate. And it has been helpful in apprehending some criminals.
Well, that is good to know.
So he will be happy, if you want me to, make sure he addresses that with you next week or next month.
I was going to say,
appreciate
if he could make sure that he comes back in, it'd be good to get that report out.
Yeah, he reached out to me today, this afternoon, and said he wasn't able to make it tonight. He usually comes every other month type of thing, because 15 townships every single month is a kind of an overload. So I will make sure he knows that too. So
that. Great, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
can't always believe what you read.
Jeff Terrell. Did I say that right?
Sure. Terrell, how you doing?
Tara? Okay.
You might address on 5983 Bay Shore, a couple miles north of here. I'm a homeowner and a member, president of the association of 28 homes north of here. And I'm here to talk about short-term rentals. I thought that the talk tonight was on short-term rentals by Sarah. So I did read some of what they've done in Elk Rapids, and I'm a little concerned that when we do have the discussion, I hope that a copy-paste of Elk Rapids into Torch Lake Township, I think, would be, inappropriate. And I've written some things down. Somebody, if you have the 4-minute time, then please feel free to hit me with that if you like. But I'm going to read some of the things that comparing Elk Rapids to Torch Lake Township. The most immediate difference is how the two communities are physically organized. Elk Rapids is a concentrated, walkable village. It features traditional grid of high-density residential streets anchored by a commercial downtown, a central public marina, public beaches. Because the properties are close together, a local agent can drive by 3 different rentals in 5 minutes. And the infrastructures like water, municipal water, sewer, and dedicated village police for enforcement are readily available to a place like Elk Rapids compared to Torch Lake. Our area is more rural, sprawling, decentralized, and stretches along miles of shoreline with highly isolated, low-density pockets of homes. Already in our neighborhood, we have people that have been doing short-term rentals, and it's been very concerning to their neighbors who don't really want to complain and be complainers, but it's really a negative effect on them. Torch Lake Township, we want to preserve the character and the dark skies, the quiet nights, and we need protection from commercialization. These tightly knit residential strips, oftentimes just 100 foot of waterfront property in many cases. The residents don't want rotating doors of 8 to 10 vacationers every week. And the noise that comes along with them and the lack of courtesies, let's just say, that are occurring. And so if Torch Lake tries to copy paste the short-term rental from Elk Rapids, the majority of our association members will be unhappy about it because of the layout of the, because of the layout of the township. A successful ordinance here usually requires a more tailored approach. This often includes strict occupancy limits based on verified septic capacity. I know you guys have been concerned, as I understand, about septic capacities and inspections, rather than just bedroom count, and zoning specific rules like short-term rentals keeping out of quiet, high-density R1 and R2 pockets, rather than blanket approval across the entire township. Short-term rentals in agricultural and timber zones would be completely different than these R1 and R2 areas. They have a different impact on noise, privacy, and density than allowing them on tight 100-foot lake lots like the R1 and R2, well, R1 in our association. So I know that you guys are concerned about this. I know you'll be thoughtful about it. I hope that we can come up with something that works well, that will be good for the people who come up here for the quiet, the peace, the quiet, the privacy, and not to have 10 neighbors enjoying the beach. We want everybody to have fun, but that's not why many people moved up here. Thanks.
All right, thank you. We're not going to copy and paste.
Good.
But the real issue is enforcement.
I know.
And so that's why we're looking at licensing and trying to figure out if we can put rules and regulations there. Here, just let me finish.
I will.
I'm not getting into a debate. I'm just telling you where we're going with this. We're going to see what we can do with the lawyer to try to make it a little stricter, that we have something more, for instance, that we can enforce it with. On the noise side, we don't have a noise ordinance, so it's more of calling the sheriff if it gets really out of hand. But at this point, with the lawsuit in Milton, the number of things that you brought up are the number of things that they're suing about. So it's a work in progress, and we'll have more next month.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Jairus Rubing.
Jairus Rubin, County Commissioner. For those who watch our meetings, this time of year is the time of year when we have lots of reports. And this past month, the Antrim County Road Commission gave their report. And something that I found very interesting was the Road Commission has a budget of, say, $10 to $12 million, give or take. They get paid primarily on fuel usage from the Michigan Transportation Fund. But of that, this past year, their budget, they spent $2.2 million plowing our roads during the winter. And I mean, it's a lot. A portion of their budget that they've spent the last 2 winters that we've had big winters has really increased the percentage of their budget, and it's set back some of they have a 5-year road plan, and it's set back some of their planned improvements to roads. Last night, no exception, Banks Township had a lengthy discussion about Essex Road and what they can and can't do. Banks Township has a 2 mil road millage, and it still brings in less than the 1 mil that you have in Torch Lake, just because property values are not nearly as high in Banks Township as they are here. So anyway, I just found it very interesting. Our next county commissioner meeting Thursday, we will have our annual report from Community Mental Health. And one of the things on our agenda is a mental health crisis officer. The sheriff is looking to hire, and it would be grant funded from Central Wellness, which is another mental health organization. And this officer would be specially trained to assist and be called on if there are situations of mental crisis in Antrim County. And they've tried this, I believe it was Benzie County. They've been going a couple years now, and it's been extremely useful. We have a record of all our 911 calls. And so over the past few years, those who are having a mental crisis, we know a lot of times what time of the day so that they could schedule this officer. But this officer would also provide training to all the other officers that the sheriff's department hires. But his specialty would be in that, and the grant would cover him, his car, his body cam, all his equipment. So it's a big deal, and we'll see where it goes. It's looking positive, looking at maybe a 2 or 3 year grant. And then on the mental health, I am the county commissioner that's on community mental health for Antrim County. And recently the Bergman Center was closed down in Charlevoix.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel that that was right. A lot of those folks, they really don't have anywhere else to go. Some of those folks have the opportunity to package things for a local company, and that's the only way that they really have to earn a paycheck. And so we've had a lot of discussions and a lot of communication, and they're going to reopen on the 22nd for a limited number of people, probably around 20, and see if they can make that financially. When we did our budget at Community Mental Health last year, I pushed pretty hard to get an extra $50,000 for the Bergman Center and for GTI, which is Grand Traverse Industries, who does very similar things over in Mansalona. They package things for Anchor Lamina, which is a company in Bel Air. And yeah, it provides a break for the family when they can go there and mom and dad can get some stuff done, because a lot of these folks are even in wheelchairs. So it's very, very taxing and consuming taking care of them. So.
All right. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Comments? Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Then board comment? Andy? Jason? Sharon?
I've been working this weekend getting summer tax bills ready. So if you have any questions, address changes, or know of anyone that needs help and understanding any part of it, the Headley rollback amendments is unfamiliar with a lot of people, and it could be kind of confusing. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. It's nothing it's been the same way for the last many years. Nothing's changed. So other than that, wish everybody a good summer. Let's get this week going here and get some heat back in here.
Mary?
No comment.
My comment, I'm going to be meeting with Elizabeth from Tart Trails. After our last meeting, I submitted a number of questions to her regarding some of the information she provided. So I'll report back to the board at our next meeting. So with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn
Second.
at 7:53.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who seconded that?
Me.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
We have tonight.
Huh?
There's no-